Hey guys, Bill here with Me Hardee's. Welcome to the channel and welcome to Maine. The channel is all about my family and our adventures here in Maine. We decided to move to Maine about 3 years ago because I did a retirement ceremony for a friend of mine, and he was doing it here in the state, in the Downeast area of the state. And once we saw it, we fell in love. We absolutely needed to see if we can make it fit into our lives, and I'm glad that we did. It is a state that has so much to offer, including a culture where families always go up to camp. And so we're now in the process of trying to create our own camp. Although we considered buying a camp or setting up a camp all throughout the state, we ultimately decided to settle in the area called Downeast. My wife is from California and has absolutely just, always been in love with the ocean. So when we saw that area and just the rugged beauty of the beaches that it has, it's not your traditional beaches with white sandiness and all that. It's actually more of a rocky beach, but it is also peppered with trees and everything. The water's extremely cold, but it is so beautiful once you see it. Once we had that, we just, we just had a singular focus to try to figure out how to make it happen for our family. And one day we were looking around on one of our favorite websites, Zillow, and happened to stumble across a property that looked like it was decently priced. Unfortunately, it was without a camp, so it was a bare piece of property. So what I'm going to do today is share with you a video that's got several clips of me going through that process. There's going to be some still photos with where I'll talk to you about what it looked like, what I was thinking, what was happening at that moment, and hope that you can understand how we got from point A to what we now call it maybe point D, because we're nowhere near all the way through this whole process. So this is some footage of us leaving the property after the first visit. However, you can imagine that if you were just doing this in reverse, this is exactly what we saw along the drive. It's quite a long driveway. It's somewhere around 900 to 1,000 feet long. There's a lot of trees. It seems quite secluded, which is a big part of what we loved about it. The trees, however, will come into play a little later on when we try to get the sheds delivered and how much of a problem they could be. The shed delivery company was outstanding navigating around these challenges, but they are a challenge nonetheless. Once we got to the end of the driveway, we parked and walked down to the water, and this is what we saw. This is the beach at the property, and this is our son Nicholas taking a hike along, doing a little bit of sea glass hunting. Here's our other two sons that are doing the same thing. In the back you can see the bridge that inspired the name for our camp. Here I am taking a look at the property and the building envelope that was shown on the survey and trying to figure out what exactly we were going to do. Turns out that we decided to just go with a slightly different plan and build a smaller set of cottages further up the driveway rather than here. We have no experience knowing exactly what to do with it, so we had to think and go through a lot of different plans, and finally we came up with this one. Here I am describing to Jen what I talked to the contractor about doing as far as laying in a driveway and leveling off the pad. Then come along kind of in this area right here and go back a little ways, back over basically to that same ending point, but we'd have a lot longer shot here. So here, over, and then basically end it right where like the current flags are. Look how generally flat this looks. He said that it would save us quite a bit of money because of like just even putting in gravel or anything else like that. That's not going to be that bad. Not too long after this, the contractor came in and he cleared the lot, and this is what it turned out to look like. There you can see me laying down in a potential building site for where the camp was going to go. I think at the time I was dreaming about what it was going to be like laying down in our bed. These next several shots are of the bathhouse that we started to build because it was the middle of February and I was extremely excited about getting something done over at the property, and I really wanted to build something, so this was my first project. I wouldn't say that it went perfectly, but I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. These next two shots are of the bathhouse finally at the property, which allowed us to be able to finally go out there, do a lot of work, and yet still be able to go to the bathroom when we needed to comfortably. Prior to this, we were having to stop over at the public boat launch and use the outhouse that they had there. So it was kind of nice to finally be able to do something at a place that we called our own. Speaking of doing work out of the property, it was nice to be able to finally finish the bathhouse, put it in the same blue that the Shottages are eventually going to be completed in. And we were also out at the property doing, my son and Nicholas and I were out at the property and doing a lot of weed whacking, trying to clear some of the brush, because you can see in the footage that's coming up that there's a ton of deadfall that's out there. There's a lot of leaves and roots and everything. So we were trying to clear a path from the camp down to the water so that we could safely trek back and forth. The weed whacker actually works really well to try to clear a lot of this stuff up, but we'll do more of that later. Okay, this spot right here is where he plans to drill the well. So here's our path down to the water. Whoa. What?
The whole lake.
That's
the whole ocean.
Ocean. Okay. And there you go. So after that initial prep work of clearing different paths and stuff like that, we ended up needing to be able to level out a site for the Shottages to go. I'll tell you, it was not an easy project. There was probably a lot of different iterations that we went through trying to get this thing, the two different pads, leveled out with each other. Considering I've never done it, I think we did a fair job. What you can see in some of these photos is the second Shottage ended up needing to have the ground raised up probably about 7 or 8 inches, and I went back and forth with trying to figure out how to solve it until finally I was just looking around on Pinterest and I noticed that there was a retaining wall project that I come across and thought that it would be a pretty cool way to try to solve that problem. There's a picture of the retaining wall once it was finalized, and now we're actually ready to have the Shottage delivery, which will be in the next video. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, please consider following along with us as we continue to take the property from being just bare land, nothing on it, to now where we have a couple of Shottages that have been delivered and continue to work on the inside. As I go through the video series, I'm going to upload step by step the different phases that we went through, as long as I have photos and videos of what I did. Appreciate you joining us today.